Everybody, Patty Ann here. Today I'm going to show you how to do paper play sketch number 7. As you can see here, you can get it at paperplaysketches.blogspot.com. So we're doing these weekly, so I hope you're following along. I'm going to show you first how to make this card online, just a virtual card, using Silhouette software, and then we'll flip over and do it in Cricut Design Space. So to start here, the first thing I'm going to do is just go over to the Shapes tools over here and grab a rectangle and draw the rectangle. So this is going to be the backing of my card, as if I had the card folded in half right here. So the size of this then will be, let's see, 4.25 inches wide by 5.5 inches high. And again, that's as if I took a sheet of 8.5 by 11 and cut it in half, and then I made 2 cards out of that. And then each card, well, let me just grab this and show you. This would be, if I took both these pieces together, this would be the top of my 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and then I would have the same thing down here. So each 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper would make 2 complete cards. So again, this is as if this is folded and cross here, so I only need one of these out. So that's going to be this outer edge right here. The next thing that you can see in this sketch is they have a second one that's inside of this. An easy way to do that in Silhouette is just to click on this one and then simply come over here to the offset panel, which is the one that looks like a little star. Click on that and click on the word offset. Oh, I don't want to do it like that though. See what that did? That made an offset on the outside of my card. I don't want to do that. I want to make it on the inside, or an internal offset. So I'm going to undo that, and this time I'm going to click on internal offset. So it's going to make it inside, just like that. Perfect. So now what I can do is I can grab the outer one, that's my card that's folded in half, and then I can color, and I'll make it white because I usually use white as my base card. And this one I can make any color I like, and I seem to like the color orange, so I'm going to make it not that color. How about orange? Okay, so there we go. We have 2 pieces just like this. And actually, it might be a good thing if I was to make this be a Valentine card instead. So I think I'll make that be red instead of orange. Here we go. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is there are 2 pieces here, as you can see. So, and one of them goes from this side of the red to the other. Now we can tell what size this red is, the width of it, by clicking on it. It's 4 inches wide. So I'm going to come here and get a rectangle and draw it out. And you see right now it's 5.721 inches wide. I'm going to come up here, I'll lock the lock, and I'm going to make it 4 inches wide. Just like that, and hit enter. So then that's going to fit on here perfectly. And I think I'll make that white. And then I'm going to do an inner offset on this one. So I think I will make it, maybe I'll make it pink, just because a lot of people do that for Valentine's Day, pink and red. So I'm going to do an internal offset again. So I'll move the outer piece away and put it back here. And then I will color this one to a color that will look nice. So I'll do this, maybe this pink color, which sort of looks like Pepto-Bismol pink to me. I don't really like it, but it will depend on what color my cardstock is. And I think I'll make it actually a little bit bigger. No, I don't want to. I'm going to go Control-Z. Okay. But I am going to take everything and come up here and say align center. Okay, there we go. All right. So the next thing we have to do is this piece right here, the square. And it's just a single piece. So I'll come over here, get another rectangle and draw it out. And I can't really tell how big it is, so I can just make this however big I want it to be. And that's way larger than theirs. I'm trying to duplicate theirs somewhat. So maybe like that. But you'll notice they have this pretty lacy effect down here. So I can do a lacy effect if I want to by adding something to this. But the other thing I can do with this program is come to the knife tool right here and come up here, leave it at solid. See where it says outline, and then I'm going to, rather than doing straight, I'm going to do something else here. I think what I'll go ahead and do is, I think I'll just do the square edge. And I'm going to uncheck auto apply. So then what I'll do is I'll just draw this across here. And those are pretty big. I don't really want them that big, so I can change that so they're closer together by doing this. And I can also move this down up a little bit like that. And about like that. Okay, so that's a knife that I've taken across here, and I've not really applied it yet because remember, I've turned off auto apply. So I'm going to click on apply. And what that's going to do is take that piece right out like that. So maybe I just want something like that for this one. And I could change this one to white again if I'd like. And put it right up here. I think I like it like theirs better. That's a little bit thicker. Oopsie. A little wider. A little shorter. Maybe like that. Okay. So that's not really a very pretty lacy-like thing, but this is just one of the many things you can do with this program. Let me just go to Control Z, Z, Z to undo, get back to where I had the original piece. And maybe instead of doing what I just did there, I've decided I'm going to use the knife tool again. And rather than doing the squares, I'm going to do, let's see, what do I like? Serrated. So again, I can come over here and drag this over like this. And if they're too far apart, again, let's see, let's go. Oh, I must have had auto apply on accidentally. Let's do that back again. So I'm doing the knife tool. Yep, auto apply got checked again. Doing serrated, I do not want to auto apply it because I want to be able to change how many little waves or serrations I have. And again, that's using this little tool right here. See, I can make a bunch of them just like that. And what I oftentimes like to do is to move it, either it or the box, so that the edges are kind of the same. See how this one ends at the halfway point and this one does too? I like to leave it like that a lot of times. So that looks pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is click on this and just say apply. And again, we have a nice thing here we can use. I can change its shape a little bit just like I did before. And bring it right up here. Now, another thing I could do if I want to on this one is this. I can add a little circle here, like watch. I can take a circle, either place, and make a tiny little circle. Make sure it's a circle by holding down my shift key, make a little circle, and bring it here. And I can make it a little bit smaller if I'd like. And then what I'll do is I'll hold down my Alt key and drag another one over, and another one over, and another one, and another one, and another one. Like that. And then what I can do is grab each one of these again and come up here to the line and say align bottom. So they're all aligned perfectly. And I could also align them horizontally so they're spaced perfectly. So that looks pretty good. Now the only other thing I could do is this. I can grab all of this at one time, come over here to the little modify panel on the right, and click subtract. And then I have another little lacy looking thing. So I could change it to white if I'd like to. And it kind of looks like a lacy looking thing there. And actually, if I don't like these extra little pieces here, that would be easy to get rid of. Just take the knife tool. Again, make sure auto apply is off. Start right here. And actually what I could do is line this up on the line right here on my mat, and I can probably show that a little bit better If I click on the page setup and change this reveal thing, and see how you can see that line really well? All right, so I'm going to get the knife. I'm going to start here on this line, hold down my shift. Whoopsie. Know what's wrong? I still have, when I go to the knife tool, the last thing I used is still selected. I don't want it to be serrated anymore. I want it to be straight. So again, knife, hold down my shift key and just come right up here and click and then say apply. And that's just going to cut that piece right off. You can do the same thing on this side. Again, I like to line it up on the lines. Get the knife straight, auto apply is unchecked, and apply. Oh, and hold down my shift key and draw it out. Okay, I missed the line a little bit, so I'm going to Control Z and undo that. Try again. Make sure I get this right on this line first, and I'll click, hold down the shift, click, and then apply. And I can take that piece right off of there. So again, what I could do is I could stretch this if I want to, so it's wider, like that if I like, you know, whatever I want to do. And I actually could go over here now, if I was doing a print then cut, and get a pattern piece of paper. And I don't know if I have anything that would be really pretty for Valentine's Day, but I could get a really pretty Valentine design and use that. So you get the idea though. And then again, let's say I wanted to use that. No. Okay, let's pretend I'm using this. And if I wanted to, remember there are these advanced options. Click on that and I can change the size of the dots however I'd like. Okay, so what I'd probably do if I was doing this and going to do this with a card and this was going to be a print then cut, I'd probably change this pink color so it matched this pink. So I would come up here after selecting it, get the eyedropper tool, and maybe select that one just like that. So that's it. That's how easy it is to do it in this program. There's a lot more I could do with it. I could add hearts to it easily just by coming over here, grab a heart, put a heart right here maybe, and maybe change the heart to white. I could hold down my Alt key. Oh no, what I'd rather do is grab this, then come over here to this replicate panel, and I can say mirror this one to the right. So it mirrors it right over there to the right, and I can put it like that. And I can come over here, click on the text, maybe type in the word love here, and change its color, I guess, to white. And I could change its font to anything I'd like. For example, maybe I would like to do Magnolia Sky, which I probably wouldn't do them all in uppercase letters. I'd do OVE, love. So again, this is just to give you some ideas of what you could do, how pretty you could make this. I could make that text a different color if I'd like. I could grab it, there we go. Make it black so it shows up better. Anyway, so the on and on, you can do all kinds of things. And that's how I'd make my virtual one here in Silhouette. So now let's go over to Cricut Design Space and see how we can mess with the same image over there. Okay, here I am in Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to show you how you can easily do the same thing in Cricut Design Space. Sometimes it's not as easy, but this one I think will be really easy for us to do just in Design Space. So the first thing I need to do is just come over here to the Shape tool, get a square, bring it over here beside. I'm going to unlock the lock so I can change the shape of it. And I'm going to make its shape just like the other one, 4.25 inches wide by 5.5 inches tall. And I always make my cards this size. This is the size of A2 size cards. So the next thing I'm going to do then, I'm going to change this color to white. Okay. All right. So now the next thing I want to do is I want to get a card that's going to go inside of this one. So all I need to do is to come over here to the Shape tool again, drag out a square, unlock it, and remember this is going to be 1/8 of an inch on all sides smaller. So basically I'm making it 1/4 of an inch smaller than this one. So actually what I could have done instead of doing this was I could have clicked on this one, come up here to this area up in the upper right hand corner and duplicated it, and then changed its size. This would be a lot easier. So I'm going to take 1/4 of an inch off the width, so that's going to make it 4 inches wide. I'm going to unlock this lock. It's going to make it 4 inches wide, hit enter, and I'm going to take 1/4 of an inch off of the 5.5. So that will make it 5.25, enter. So now I'll make this one red just like I had done the other one. Whoops, I want to change the color right here, change it to red. Okay, so we can stack these on top of each other just like that. All right, now we have these two pieces to make, so I'm just going to get a shape again, square, unlock it, and remember we want to make this so it's the same width as the red one, so let's check it out. The red one is 4 inches wide, so we want to make this piece 4 inches wide and hit enter, and we can make it whatever thickness we like, and that looks pretty good. All right, so then what I'm going to do is I colored this one, I think I did white. All right, so now the only other thing I have to do is grab on this one and say duplicate, and I can change this one to be smaller. So now if I'm going to take 1/4 of an inch off of 4 inches, that's going to leave me with 3.75 wide. I'm going to unlock the lock. 3.75 wide. And let's see, I didn't do that right because it didn't work. Let's first do this. Hold on just a second. This one right here, the one that I duplicated, let's delete. Oops. Wait, let me hit undo. Sorry, you guys. I'm going to delete this one. The first one that I did that's 4 inches wide, you see up here it's 1.54 inches tall. I'm going to make that so it's not such a crazy number. It's easier to work with. I'm going to make it 1.5 inches tall. I'm going to unlock that lock though because it's going to also change this if I'm not careful. So basically what I want is 4 inches wide by 1.5 inches tall. Now I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to make this one, either one, 1/4 of an inch smaller. So this one right now for the width is 4 inches. If I take 1/4 of an inch off, it's going to be 3.75. I want to unlock the lock. I should have unlocked before I did that. I always forget this part. So here it is again. I'm going to unlock it first and make this 3.75 and hit enter. Okay, so that's how wide I have it to be. And then it was 1.5 inches. I want to take off 1/4 of an inch. So it's going to be 1.25 inches tall. All right, so let's put this let's put this white one back. Put the white one in there where it goes. And I think I will just go ahead and, whoops. All right, I'm gonna take this one, and I'm gonna align them center. And align them center. Okay, so I'm going to move this guy back up. Whoops, not that. This one, I'm going to move him back up like that. Okay, so this one can now go over top of this, but of course we want to change it a different color so it shows up. And what I had done over there in Silhouette was I changed it to a pattern. We can change this one to a pattern too by coming up here to No Fill, Print, and then for the print, we click on the little color swatch beside it. We don't want it to print this box out as a white color. we want to print it out as a pattern. And here are the patterns that I have available to me. So I'll just choose one of these. I don't know if there's anything really appropriate for Valentine's Day. Let's just use this one. Okay, so now we can take that print right over here and put it in here. And at this point now I might want to make this pink be a different color so that it matches better. But oh, that's not good. So I'm going to just undo it and I'll leave it the color I have it. So the next thing I need to do then is I need to make this square. So again, get a shape, get the square. Here's a square. It's a pretty good size right like that. I want to put the lace on the bottom. The easiest way to do the lace on the bottom in Cricut Design Space is if you have access. Just go up here to where it says Images and type in the word lace. And you'll see all kind of lacy borders of stuff that you can use. So here's a good one right here. Look at that. I'm going to click on that, which puts it down here, and I'm going to say Insert it. All right, so it comes in and it's really, really big. I don't want it big like that. I want it small. And I'm going to rotate it by hitting this button right here and just rotate it. I'm going to make it so it's going to fit right on here. Like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide, let's see, where is this thing? This. I'm going to hide the red part. See this? When I clicked on that lace, there are two pieces here in the layers panel. I'm going to hide the red part so it shows through just like that. Then I'm going to change both of these. I'm going to grab them both, and since there's only, actually there are three things selected. Will I be able to do this? I'm going to weld them if I can. Yep, I can. Since the one was hidden, I guess it let me. And then I'm just going to change the color of this one to white. And I can just bring it over here like this. And so this one was maybe a little bit easier because I grabbed some already made stuff. But either way, this is a fun one to work with. And if you're doing the cards for kids that so many of us are doing, remember you can also do adult cards. So you could put something appropriate for adults on here as well. If you're doing cards for kids, don't forget you do sign it with your name, first name, and what city and state you're from. And then once you have a group of maybe 10 together, you email them in. Make sure you're putting the sticker for Patty Ann's Place on the back so they know they came from our group, and also tell them that these are from our group. Again, if you're coming to the retreat that we're having, we'll be working on a bunch of these and learning how to make some other cards together. That's in October. So again, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you'll join our card making paper play sketches and put your images that you make, whether you actually make the card physically or just make it like what I've done here. Put a picture of it, grab a snapshot of it, and throw it up online so we can see how you've done it. So again, thanks for joining me. Check out my links below if you're in the market to purchase something, also to join our Facebook groups, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks, you guys. Bye-bye.